G'day everybody. We're on a marathon video thing here. Making a video about resetting our red wiggler breeder bin. So to start off with, I don't mix them up. I just skim and I check. Throw it in one spot. Not all over the bin. It's easier to just take off the top what you can first, rather than doing the full extraction on the whole bin, as I like to dump it all in here and wait for them to go down again.
Mm-hmm.
Got my helper with me still. Might not realize it, but we just did a really long sifting video. And if we miss one or two worms, I don't care. It actually works pretty good because being it's not a dark container, the worms all kind of go right to the center because it's been sitting on the bed for quite a while. So the light makes them all go into the middle, like right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of gets them away from the edges, which then in turn makes it easy to do a really quick extraction for the cocoons. And also, one of the things is this bin is a little bit dry for a breeder bin. It's not too dry for them to live. It's a little drier than I like for a breeder bin. So, but we're going to do it anyway. Because it's time. And that's where the food is too. I did feed them in that spot, so it's going to also collect the worms into where the feed is, in the zone.
Oh no, I dropped it.
Chances are you'll look back and find a worm. Not a big deal.
Onion skin. What are you doing?
Diana left her truck running.
Oh, Diana's here. It is not the morning.
No, definitely not first thing in the morning. Was I right about the crack of 2?
Almost. It's 1:16.
See, got lots of worms in this pepper.
Oh, you put pepper in there?
Yeah, they like pepper. They really chase after it. But I want the worms off of it. So, this one went pretty quick. I am going to try to get more out.
More worms?
More stuff. Because the more you take out, the more you're not leaving any cocoons, or as many cocoons, in the breeder bucket.
So you're trying to get the cocoons out then?
Right.
And they go in too.
I've got another bin that I've put them in. And then what I did was I sorted what I believe to be 100% red wigglers out of the guys. And I put them in here.
I see.
And in doing that, I'm trying to create my own clean red wigglers, because then what I'll do again is I'll select out of that next bin, say 100 worms or 200 worms or 300 worms, and I'll start another breeder bin and I'll abandon this one. I'll just put this guy back in to the guys.
So you're picking pure worms from pure worms to
Which
get
should
more.
eventually get me back to a red wriggler base.
Have you found any non-red wigglers in there?
Not recently. First time I did.
Have you restarted it like more than once now?
This is the second breeder bin
that
I've started. First one I killed. I left the lid on too tight.
Oh.
It was in one of these ends.
Oh.
And when I went back to do the next feeding, they were
Toast.
I had tightened the lid up too much and they weren't getting there.
Poor guys.
Yeah. Oopsies. But in reality, it just brought me back to the next step. So then what I did is out of that breeder bin, I pulled
the cocoons.
I pulled as many red wigglers as I could, mature ones, of which I could deem to be red wigglers, because there's a big difference between red wigglers and blue worms. And all of a sudden I'm down to a little mini worm ball, which is about 250 worms.
250 worms.
That's what I put in here. So I'm not saying that some of them haven't died and some of them haven't. Some of the small ones that have been along the way haven't grown into breeders. And some of them haven't gone with the restarts. But on average, the number will stay about the same, 200 to 250 worms. That's about 250 worms right there. Red wigglers. So, now what do we do, right? We're going to handle this stuff. So this is my newest breeder bin. Fancy bubble wrap, see?
Ooh. It's bubble tubes.
There they are.
Oh yeah.
Big ones, small ones. That's the feed zone in this bucket. Right there. There. So they're starting. And in a few months, few months, I will have an active bin that is breeding and doing all the things that worm bins are supposed to do. Eating, breeding, pooping, and they will be basically a self-sufficient bin in about another couple months. That's resetting. Well, I did not reset.
You are a liar.
Hold on. Pause me.
Hello.
This is my started pre-compost.
What is it made of?
Coffee grounds, eggshells, paper. I mix it into kind of a mumbled up jumble mess. Add molasses water to activate it and let it sit in a bucket. So,
Worms. They're so gross when they're just a lump like that.
and we want our breeder bins to be wet.
It's a good cup choice for that. Oops, sorry. I'm just
October fish.
wiggling. I mean that it's dribbly.
It's just water. Never kill anybody unless you drink it and breathe it in. You breathe it in, not a good idea.
Potato peels.
Frozen. I'm gonna put that down here. And that is lots. Now we're just going to let the light drive those worms down. And you can see these red wigglers are not nearly as ready to just go boom into the bedding as the night crawlers. If you go back and you watch some of my ENC night crawler resets, them little guys, they get at her and they go to hide because they are much more finicky.
Oh, there's one that's very fast.
We made,
There he
that was
goes.
the one that was on top of the other ENC bin. Now that we made just one bin, back to that. Okay. So, but they are going down. And I think it's better to let them go down on their own than to cover them up and stir them up. Because then they're more apt to stay down in your bedding and not try to go walkabout. Because you don't want your population to go walkabout or else you won't have it.
Like bees.
Yeah, you want them to stay in. But you can stimulate them.
Poke them.
Yeah, you can give them a poke and it gets them wiggling and they go, ah, let me away. And they go down. But you can see they're leaving the stuff behind, which is enough inoculation in this bin to inoculate the biology in this bin, what they take with them, to start them being happy. And the microbes helping them to digest all the stuff that's in here. Like they'll eat the paper, they'll eat the coffee grounds, and they'll eat the potato that we just put in.
Hi, Mika.
Nick. You coming to help? You're a strange person here and you had to come and tell Dad. So we'll just give these guys a little poke again, get them going. Because it does stimulate them to get going. Other than that, red wigglers will sit there and they'll hang out in the light for a half an hour. Whereas the ENCs will not. So I just give them a little nudge. And as you can see, it ticks them off just enough to get them going. because we just gave them a shower, and they love having a shower. They love getting wet. So that doesn't drive them down, right?
They're like, oh.
So you want them to get down before you cover them up in the dirt, because if they're not down, there's a chance they could go out and about and go walkabout. If they get down into the bedding, they're not going to go walkabout. They're pretty calm.
Yuck.
And if you stimulate them to get going, it takes about a third of the time, if not less. Because like you can see, there's not much of that ball left anymore now. They've said, all right, we've had enough of this guy poking at us. We're going to go and find out what he gave us for lunch.
Frozen potato peels.
But in that, like, you don't see a lot of little guys.
No, they're all big.
So I've actually come to a point in this bin where I'm pretty confident that I've been keeping up on the fact where my cocoons aren't, I'm doing it on time to where my cocoons are not hatching, and the little guys aren't in the bin. And it's not a big deal if they are, because then the next time when you do it, they're 3 weeks old, and they tend to, when you're doing the light separation, the small ones and the big ones kind of separate a little bit. Go down. Go down. Get away. Get away. And over the next course of a couple of siftings, over the next 2 times or 3 times that you reset, those little guys, they separate themselves off either by sticking to the plastic when you take them out, or through the sort, and then they come out with and go to the brooder bin. So it's not a big deal, and I don't panic about it. If I'm a week late and I start getting cocoons hatching, it doesn't bother me.
So it takes like 3 weeks to hatch a cocoon.
3 weeks. You ever notice in nature everything's 3 weeks cycle?
No.
A pig cycles in 3 weeks. A cow cycles every 3 weeks. Humans, worms hatch in 3 weeks.
Funny.
Chicken eggs hatch in 3 weeks, 21 days. Duck eggs and goose eggs are, I believe, 28 days. Everything's on a week cycle. Okay, so that is a reset bin. It is reset now for another 3 weeks. If you like what we're doing, like, subscribe, share, comment. If you want, comment to where you are commenting from, where you live. You don't have to give me your house address, just, maybe your state, maybe your province, maybe your country. And we're good. Have a great day. Enjoy. We'll see you again on the next one.